Hey guys, so yeah, this week we've celebrated 20 years of YouTube. And as I've alluded to, every time I come up to an anniversary, which mine's going to be within, a little over a month on June 4th of this year, mine's going to be, I think, 17 years with this channel. It's hard to believe. But anyway, I'm going to tell you, my history with YouTube, I've talked about it before, is one that I'm sure a lot of people, I should say, have gone through. Long story short, as I've talked about before, my channel mainly, that I would work from, has gone through different channels. I'll put it like that. In other words, basically, the first channel I had, I created within, basically in the first year, after YouTube had celebrated 1 year in existence. And I didn't know that basically my first channel wouldn't last but like 4 or 5 months, mainly due to the fact that I was looking for an outlet to share my my AMVs, my CMVs, stuff like that and everything. And what happened is that YouTube, obviously still learning about what they can allow and what they couldn't allow, basically they got in trouble, not just with me, not just because of me, but because of others, because a lot of people like myself were uploading the AMVs and the CMVs and everything. And what happened, basically, as I've talked about before, is when I was out here visiting my family for my birthday and unexpectedly attending my grandpa's funeral because he had passed on my birthday, what happened is that I was checking on a laptop my older sister had, and I saw that I had all these, emails, notifications from YouTube. So I'm thinking, oh, people are liking my stuff. And some of them were comments saying, hey, your video is cool, we like it, whatever. But when I got back and I checked them again, I noticed there was something else. And I'm thinking, basically what is this? And I find out that my first channel got terminated due to the fact that I was uploading AMVs, CMVs, but mostly AMVs, with content that I didn't have permission to upload, with, content of footage and music and stuff like that. So what happened is the first channel disappeared, and I didn't know at that time that I could, create another channel with an email. I didn't know that till I looked up, the information about 6 months later, and I found out, oh, I could do this. So that's what I did in December of 2006. And that lasted me to about basically June 2008, essentially 7 months after I got back here to California, seven and a half months, after I got back here to California, in November 2007, my second channel, died on June of 2008. And there were many reasons that not many reasons, but there's two reasons I should say that may have happened. The first reason is my oldest nephew, who's turned 30 this year, he, being 13 at the time, told me that he did it. He hacked into my account, he got it terminated, stuff like that. But I think he was just messing with me. 13 years old, rebellious, we've all been there. So I think he was just messing with me. But the other possibility, I think, is the more legit one. You see, we know that there's a lot of satire parody sites out there, right? Even Twitter, aka x.com, has satire Twitter, accounts, parody accounts and all that. And there was this one site that was basically like a parody of what Wikipedia is right now. It was a parody of Wikipedia, of what Wikipedia is right now, as well as a parody of the encyclopedia website. And long story short, this satire parody website that was basically, a rip, like I said, on Wikipedia, or what Wikipedia would be and all that, this website would target people like me and others that were fans of certain franchises, fans of certain tropes and stuff, and they would basically create articles talking down about us, basically making us look bad, trying to bash us and everything, So I saw this, and I think somebody had told me about it, and what I did is I ended up I ended up creating an audio video where I ranted and bashed them back. That's what I did. I ranted and bashed them back as best I could, and I uploaded it to my channel. And I thought, okay, I got it out of my system, everybody will hear it, everybody will listen to it, and they'll get an idea to stay away from this website. Well, a few days later, my channel ended up disappearing, my second channel. And there were people that were wondering, like Patrick Butler and others, like, what happened? So thankfully, I had learned my lesson from the last time, and I had another email account that I used, that I created once I got back here. And that email account is what's basically the reason that this channel is up and running. And I also have my other email account that's connected to it as well, to sort of balance it out. And I also have my one of my other YouTube channels, my Brian's Discussions channel, part of it as well, so I can switch back and forth if I want. But I've also learned that if you're going to have a YouTube channel, you also have to have backups in other YouTube related outlets. So I created a Daily Motion account, later on a VENMO account, and in recent years, in the past year, a Rumble and an Odyssey account. I even think I had a BitChute account as well for a time. But yeah, I basically did what I had to do to ensure that if that ever happened again, I would have outlets that would help me out, to where my content could be seen. There's even Internet Archive. I can put it up over there if I want to. But with this channel, I've also had ups and downs as well. I mean, this channel, I was finally able to achieve monetization. Thank you guys for helping me on that. But I've had my ups and downs. For example, I've had a couple of run-ins with the community guidelines. The content community guidelines, right? The first one of the more notable ones was, something that allowed me to still make money, kind of, but basically it limited me on other provisions for at least about 14 days. And what it was is that I was sharing one of the stories I had created to do right. I think it was to do right, or it was something. But it was one of the stories I had, created. I think I had created, or I was sharing or something. No, actually it was a story I was sharing. It was one of the stories I was sharing that I found from fanfiction.net, which you can now find the same story on archiveofourOwn.org. But anyway, what happened is I ended up sharing this story, and I also wanted to put an image that represented the story. And little did I know that by doing so and putting the link in my description would cause me trouble, and it did. So what happened? I ended up basically for a couple of days, for about 2 weeks, losing privileges outside of making money. So I'm thinking, okay, fine, not an issue. So I waited that out, everything turned out fine. Second time around, what happens? I do it again. And it's because I'm sharing a story I created. And what happens is because I shared a story, I end up losing about 6 months of monetization and monetization and some other privileges outside of that. And that was about a year ago. A year ago that I got back my monetization, so thank the Lord on that. And I've learned my lesson that basically you have to be careful what you link, if you will, when it comes to certain websites you want people to go to. Anyway, with that said, that wasn't the only thing that I dealt with. As a lot of you have noticed, basically there have been false claims leveled towards me and others from the quote-unquote WMG, Warner Music Groups, but actually what they are is just a bunch of trolls that want to cause trouble. And I fell for it one time, to where I took down a lot of my Yogi Bear stuff, videos and everything, all because I thought it was the actual WMG people, but then something told me to look it up, and confirm, and I found out what it really was. It's just a false trollish account. Now, thankfully, YouTube, through Twitter, through the team YouTube, has, come out and said, hey, look, just let us know, and we'll take care of it, and they've been doing it, and I've been seeing less and less of that. And to me, it's like, and I've said it before, if it is a trollish account, if it is like, let's say, adolescent kids or teens, if you don't like what we like, then don't watch, don't pay attention. You know, and if you're bored, there are other things to do. But, you know, but here, that's neither here nor there right now. So thank God things are still okay. Now okay, I should say. Not still okay, but are now okay. But yeah, I've had quite the history with YouTube when it comes to the first two channels and this channel. And obviously that history is going to continue throughout time. Am I expecting this channel to go through some more bumps throughout, you know, its existence for as long as the Lord's willing to let it be? Yeah, I do expect it. I do expect it. But outside of that, I'm just glad to have been a huge part of the 20 years of YouTube. 20 years. Because when you think about it, they started in 2005. 2005. I started this channel in 2008. I've been part of this YouTube community for 17 years. So 17 out of the 20 years, and I am grateful for that, you know, all the time. I'm grateful for that all the time, and I thank you guys for being there to help support me and get me to where I'm at now. But that's all I'm gonna say, guys, for now. And in conclusion, all I want to say is happy 20th anniversary, YouTube. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this community, despite our ups and downs and the various channels I've been, you know, I have created that has been part of this. And here's to 20 more, maybe 100 more in the future. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Comment down below, like the video, ring the bell for notifications, share the video. And until then, I am out.